business, shall we? We're going to just mash on through this. I remember you can just rattle it in whatever this way. Oh, I am going to go Violet Path. Wow. So rude. Let's go with that. Why not? Okay. Let's get down into the business, shall we? Madman's knowledge.
Good. All signed and sealed.
Yep, whatever, old man. That am I. Alright, let us get out of here, shall we? I'm pretty sure you can talk to that chick behind here. Oh, not yet. Maybe later. I can't remember when. Anyhow, she's not very nice, so whatever. Run in here. See if we can kill this guy with no weapon, even though it really doesn't matter. Pretty much the one part of it is I'm gonna die and end up with a hunter stream anyways. Get your weapon. Hello. Wow. Also, Brent, I'm sure you noticed when you get hit with something, your health bar will go down, but it'll be just kind of lighter and like a little notch. Basically, oh my god, that means is you can get some of that health back by damaging the enemy, so, you know, just be careful doing that, of course. Uh-oh. Get out of here, bubble. I find personally for like, oh, look at that. Got a little fast one on me there. Dodging, yep. Dodging is like, there's a timing to it that you kind of just feel for after a while, so most of the time I find it's like right, you see they're going to attack and then it's like a split second after that maybe is when you want to dodge, just so you don't dodge into their attacks, but you kind of get a feel for it later on. I'll just wake up here. You took the hunter axe. I'm gonna take that too, because I prefer it anyways. And the pistol. Clever, you say? Equipped our newly found items. Dear God, cats running everywhere. I think you can actually have like 2 weapons equipped if you want, so you can like change one out. I don't know, I never really messed around with that. Anyways, so super quick before we go back. L1, give yourself a good old fashioned 2-handed weapon. Got your normal attacks, which is like, you know, swinging and smash you down. You can do one tap on your R2 for a heavy attack and you'll just slam down, which is good. Or you charge it, which can be very handy. And You should note that. Alright. Right now it takes all of your stamina away, but if you only have like a sliver, you can still do the same attack, and I don't think it does any like less damage or anything. So like, even if you only have like a sliver, you can still pull one off. And that attack is like super good for fighting like multiple enemies at the same time if you need to like do some crowd control or whatever. Or of course, if you want to use your pistol, you have to have one-handed. Which is, one-handed is more better for like, I guess, single enemies. You can use it with like two enemies once you're comfortable, but for you, I'd say just use like two-handed for the most part, because you do a little more damage that way, and it's easier for like dealing enemies. You can smash, dodge back, whatever. And okay, let's get back to the old land of Yarn. Blunderbuss, which I've never used. I pretty much just use the pistol because it's pretty effective for visceral attacks. Okay, so this is actually pretty handy for like fighting these guys. So the second he looks at me, he just send him flying. Hit it again. And he did it. Treasure right here. Blood vials. Now we have 5. So, pretty much you can only go one way from here. You can't go here until like way later on. Not too much later on. A couple hours in. Anyhow. Open up this gate here. Guys can't pick up this fine looking top hat. More blood vials. Pothole around the side here. And you can always do like a running charge. Kills him. That is sometimes helpful. Molotovs, which I will save for later, and I will show you why. It'll probably help you. Climb up this ladder. Whenever you climb, you can hold the circle and just scale up real fast if that's your thing. Or hold circle and slide down. Fun fact. Our first lantern here. Aww. The gate here is a shortcut we'll get to in a little bit.
Oh, and I'm Gilbert. You must have worried, but I'm willing.
Pretty sure he just tells you what to do. A little bit, kind of, not really.
Pale, but deep.
He's dying. Attacking his poor little lung.
Pale bloody. But if it's blood.
Never heard of it. Go to the healing church. Blah blah blah. Pretty much just telling you to go to the church, which is inevitable anyways. This area, I know, is like kind of a. See, like the first time you played, it's such a short area to go through because there's a lot of enemies. If you're not used to like the mechanics, it's kind of a pain. You can do, if you want to like clear everything, I would just like come down here, come around here. These guys are gonna start walking when you come down. That is why the charging attack is pretty good. These guys are bottles. mean, it's not too bad to like farm them a bit at the start of the game, because then you can get some. Once you get more comfortable with the attacks, you can just pick up some blood vials while you're at it too. So this is helpful. It's just opens up to the gate to the place where we just came through, which is kind of a pointless shortcut, but whatever. These guys, I would just do like a swinging attack on them, but you can do a visceral attack if you want to. Like it's just a bit touchy because if you're like fresh, it might be a little difficult to pull off. See, like it's not even worth it. Even I will die right at this spot. Like, especially those guys, because it takes like 2 hits and you're dead. So I would say just use that like charged attack I was telling you about, and go from there. It's probably gonna be a lot easier. It's gonna it might not send that guy flying. I can't really remember, but you'll at least be able to do some damage and like run away from him pretty quickly. Do that like twice, I think, you'll probably kill him. So go back and try again. Without trying to do a visceral attack, because that's probably kind of a bad enemy to train on for that. There's like some enemies where it's a little bit easier to do it on and kind of get the timing for it. Especially ones that aren't going to kill you like right off the bat, so. So you gotta grab a wooden shield, brah. Alright, so this time, I'll just try that charge attack. I don't think there's even anything special behind him, but I mean the the blood echoes are good at the start, so like second he turns around, just start charging. Oh, look at that, I died again. I'm a scrub. But you can feel better because you're not the only one who just dies. Try one more on this guy. He has my something. That goes now. Also, if you see they have like that kind of glowing, that means that enemy has to die for you to get your goodies back. Wow. I've waited. If you can get 2 of them in, you can drop them pretty easily, but just be careful because obviously it hits pretty hard at this stage of the game and can kill you real fast. One thing think there's even really anything super useful here anyways. I can't remember. He just happens to be here. Yep. No treasures at all. Crap. Anyhow, come this way. Oh my god, let me trim it. Oh, can't remember. Molotovs, which will be handy later. Some random lady, I think. That guy wants nothing to do with you whatsoever. Pretty much every door that you see has one of these lights on someone you can talk to. Most of them are like nobody, but there are a few that are like NPCs that actually need to a safe place, which I will show you to do later on. There's a guy around here. Also, you just kind of gotta, I feel like you gotta just be somewhat aggressive, and you shouldn't have too many problems. Also, I'll mention one attack that is handy. Your lock, I think it probably works without being locked on. Yes, you can just like tap circle to dodge backwards or whatever, and then immediately attack, and a lot of the time it'll thrust you forward. And you can get a quick attack in like right after. Which you probably just lunge back and you can get a, double tap, get 2 attacks in. That is handy to know. Run. Kind of want people sometimes, so kind of what I do sometimes. You just like run at critters. Then if you have a bunch of guys coming at you, I'd normally have 2-handed out. You got a little more range to deal with them and dodge back if you're worried about getting like attacked by a bunch of them. You can also visceral attack these guys if you feel like it. Just wait for them to attack. And boom! So pretty much all you do is just like shoot them as they're attacking, and then you just hold R1 and you'll just punch them in their lungs. So, I'd say at like the start of the game, if you have like a few extra silver bullets, just practice on these guys, because it's not too bad to practice on. This area I find to be a little bit rough if you're running through, if you want to like actually clear everybody out. I mean, realistically, if you don't even want to, you could just do a suicide run and work on, doing a run all the way through. If you want to like grab all the items and stuff, just, if you have to, run through and just like kill this gun guy and run away. Zigzag roll your way out of there, wait for them to come at you, and that's probably what you gotta be worried about sometimes. Just 2 people attacking at the same time and you kinda get stun locked. That's why using the 2-handed is pretty handy sometimes. Then you have a little more range to hit them with, and you don't have to worry about getting bombarded, which happens, quite often. It's pretty easy to get bombarded by like 2-3 different people attacking. I'm gonna run and kill this wiener first. Those guys are the worst. They shoot even worse than so much damage. So, that's everybody. There is like a small little shortcut that you can kind of go through and end up like right over here, somewhere just up there, I believe, if you want to skip some of the enemies, which I'll just like quickly show you. And we'll mosey on and probably do a... There's one guy down there. This pitchfork. Oh, your groundskeeper Willie. Anyhow, so you come down from... No, you're coming down from here from the lantern. Show this left so you can see exactly. Alright, you got your lantern right here, you spawn back in, blah blah blah. You just run this way and just drop off to the left here. You'll kind of end up right over here. So you can kind of skip some of the enemies if you want to. It doesn't really get you too horribly far.
Away!
I think we'll go to a shortcut first, and we'll spend some echoes and go from there. Get out of here. You're a pitchfork. Not for farting, it's for leads. Oh, I guess since you don't know all the items. Whenever you find these like dues or whatever, they just give you echoes. You can save onto them if you die and have no echoes and want to buy something, or you can just like pop them whenever you want. That doesn't really matter. Kind of just up to you. It's handy to have them though, like once in a while. If you die and you want to buy some stuff. These guys can be super like daunting, but honestly just use a charge attack on them. They just drop. I normally just stay a little bit away from them, because most of the time they don't like, they do one leaf attack at you or they smack with that stupid rock, but for the most part they come pretty slow and you can stay like a distance away and just start charging up. And as long as you hit them with the end swing of it, it'll just send them flying and you can kind of get your bearings again. Oh, these stupid crows are like everywhere throughout the game, so just be careful. They certainly don't fly, but they're all blah 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 and scare the shit out of you. Crazy people friggin' laughing. Oh, so there really isn't anywhere to go. Well, there's a couple different ways you can go from here. Not too many. Here, grab another doo-doo. Oh, I think this is actually one of the shortcuts. Hello, spy device. Oh, where's the friggin' lead? Oh, that one's on the other side, yes, quite. We'll talk about later on. So I find that these dogs, if you're worried about there being too many dogs or whatever in an area, you can shoot them with your gun and they just, I think they go kind of go a real quick second in on them. Most of the time you just have to worry about those stupid guys with their guns. They just like blast you to kind of get stun locked a little bit. Get out of here. Going to be on a bridge. So, when you get to this bridge, got a couple options. are those two guys, which they can be pretty rough unless you can use a charge attack on them, but they're not too bad, but they can be pretty brutal at like the start of the game, so if you want to just like, I'll show you, just kind of be careful. You can lure just like one at a time. That kind of makes it easier, but they do come in handy later on if you want to farm blood vials, because each of them drops 3 every single time, so you can get 6 just from these 2 bottles right here. One of them's gonna come in. Most of the time they come like, you just wanna kind of watch. If you stay to their side for the most part, they're not too bad, but they can be like, they can be just brutal and clippy, so they're just stay from the side. And it is kind of rough when you're fresh off trying to fight them, because they can both just like destroy you. Just like that. And they can stun lock you pretty easily, so it's kind of best to just get one at a time if you can. Because like at the start of the game, it's just brutal, because you have like hardly any stamina or health. So, this time we are not going to fight anybody, we're just going to suicide run our ass all the way back there. So, this is what you'll do, come down here, just jump down behind this guy, we're just going to book it. Like, honestly, for the most part, they're pretty slow and sluggish, and you can just dart right on through. It's handy to like try doing it once in a while if you feel like it. Suicide runs are handy. Then like, you know, if you've fought those guys a bunch of times and you just don't want to deal with them because you don't have a shortcut unlocked yet, then you can just book it. Not even worry about it, because once you get past the point, they aren't going to follow you. You know, we just lost 3,000 echoes, we don't want to lose that. I would say kill these guys though. Just because if you have to back down, like, you know, we did before, after those stairs, you don't want to back down from those stupid freaking werewolf deaths and get trapped by these guys. Gosh, that would not be a good time. Look at that, we got lucky. That guy has our echoes. Alright, this time what we're gonna do, we're just gonna ignore them for a moment, because you really don't have to deal with them unless you want to, but like once you're a little more leveled up, then you might as well, because they aren't that bad at that point. But they can be pretty rough at first. Now, what you want to do, come over here to this ledge. This is actually like, as you can see by that kind of burnt beast that we just ran through. So, what you want to do, come to the left here. So we have sharp, upgrading your axe. There's some wood down here. And drop down here. And then I want to climb back up and get it. No, there's nothing really there. Anyhow, this will eventually lead us to some armor. There's a ladder like the ladder's like on that side, so if you want to escape out of here, you can suicide run your way out of here too, if you're like not feeling too adventurous yet. I would say try to come here and get the armor that's somewhere around here. I can't remember exactly where we'll find it. These guys are like, they can be rough, but like, try to shoot them in visceral attack. They're fairly easy in visceral attack. say, like, pretty much any enemy that has, like, a kind of, like, human-like kind of body or a beast like that can be visceral attacked really easily. So, like, I'd say practice a lot doing that, because it will come in handy. I mean, if you want, you can do a charging attack too and just, like, send them flying if you don't want to do it. You see, just like, as soon as they're like starting to attack you, just kind of get the timing. You'll eventually get it too. Like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. The spear guy can be a butthole though. His timing's a little bit different, but look at that, friggin' cell down there. I'm just gonna wait down there with those friggin' rats to try to kill me. Oh, I don't think there's any benefit to dropping down this way opposed to like down there. Unless you wanna like devastate some of these friggin' rats. Which, you know, you can do if you want to. They're pretty sluggish though. But they can all lunge at you pretty good too, so like always want to dodge to the side. Definitely want to use like, if you're starting off, probably use it two-handed just so you have a little more range to kill them. They kind of don't attack for a second, but they always have to do that same punching attack when they first see you. So just watch out for that. They can be like total dicks if a bunch of them see you and you're just like, you know, you're still fresh. One here. Totally missed. Totally forgot about the little crowds there. Good lord, he almost killed me. Just attack. Why not? Did not like that. Alright, we're gonna try to get all that range. I don't think that's anything super useful, but, you know. Shiny treasures. Oh yeah, it's just fabulous. There's the one guy right around the corner here. See? There we go. First set of hunter gear right there. Which is super handy, especially at the start, because, you know, it buffs up pretty much all your defense, like all your physical defense and everything, so you can use it pretty much the entire game if you really want to. Like, you know, some of the other armors are better for like protecting against like the magics and stuff like that, but like for the most part this one's gonna be pretty good for a while. Look down here, there's a bunch of corpsey things that'll try to attack you once you get on there. They're kind of like, they're not very aggressive, but fall down here, heal, get your double-handed out. For the most part, they're like pretty sluggish, they don't attack you. Like, they're not too aggressive, but they can just like hit you pretty hard. I would say just like come in here, give yourself a good old-fashioned swinging attack, and just, you know, stay back. They can attack you, but for the most part, just stay on their side. Attack them, and you're good to go. If you're not sure which ones are still alive, you can just lock on, and lock onto whichever ones are still alive. Personally, I have a habit of trying to like kill everything the first time I go through an area, so down there is somewhere else, a different path, but first you're going to want to go up this ladder. It's a path, you can go down that way if you so choose, which you don't go down there just yet. First we'll come up all the way here. That guy's just sad because he's at like that door right there, and they don't want to answer. It's obvious. I actually have no idea how it's a madman's knowledge, which I would say is that right now. What that does is it gives you insight, which doesn't go away when you die. You can use it to like summon NPCs to help you for like certain boss battles if you want, but also lets you see certain things, which I will show you after. Let's go to the Hunter stream. Just wait for this guy to turn around, give him a little smacky again. Send him flying. He can also be visceral attacked. As you see, kind of get the timing, like, when they're first getting up, you can't damage them, but once they get up to a certain point, you'll be able to damage, so you can just get, like, a fast attack in if you need to. With, like, most enemies, that'll work. Come up here. Here's a good old-fashioned shortcut to this little courtyard that was right after all those enemies that we, ran through. The first enemies that you go through. There's that guy who's on the other side of the gate. There's a little shortcut, so next time you come back there, you can just park down this ladder if you so choose. Go down that way. There is some other stuff to do. Well, that's what we're going to do, is we're going to run up here. Actually, I think there is another way to go to. Yes. We are going to actually lure one of these butts out of here. Find out where to go. You have to be careful when you shoot one of them, because sometimes they'll trigger one. So just be careful. Oh god. Run away! I believe you can visceral attack. you can see, it can be pretty brutal trying to fight both of them at the same time at the start of the game. But for the most part, they lunge forward a lot, so you want to just try to stay this side, but it can be super easy to just get like caught by them. The water up this way, now we can run through here freely. One guy there, this, I believe. Actually, we'll create a little bit of a shortcut. There's a couple of here. They're super easy to kill. You know, as always, enemies can just kill you real quickly. Oh, I run down the stairs here. There's gonna be another guy right to the left. There's also an old man in a wheelchair, so if you go for that treasure, he's gonna try to shoot you. Don't feel bad though, he's an old man in a wheelchair, but he was going to kill you if you went past him. He didn't kill him. Yeah. There you go, little door. Opens up into a place here in which there is a man who's going to try and attack you. Oh, this will actually, if you follow this path down here, I would say don't go down here just yet. You're going to go past those two guys, and there's like a little elevator kind of to the left of my character there that's going to take you to the first main boss of the game. So, I'd say don't go there just yet, because it's going to be easier to go to a kind of like side optional boss to do that first. And the reason you want to come back up here, and the reason why is I'll show you. It's a little bit of a shortcut you can open up, and boom, we are back at the first lantern. So then, you know, come back from the lantern, you don't have to deal with all those enemies you ran through in the beginning, you can just come down here. You can kind of progress through the, like, the sewer area down that bridge. Which, well, actually, we'll spend our echoes first and go that way, and then we'll call it good for the day, and that should get you started at least. Alright, so the reason I popped that Madman's knowledge is because once you finally get... that gives you the beckoning bell, sorry, and the silencing bag, which helps you summon NPCs, so that is handy knowledge. The old hunter bell, which I actually don't know what the old hunter bell does, because I have foolish old men. Oh, consume insight to bring bell. Call to old hunters for help. Well, how about that? Key item. Yeah. I'd say if you want to summon like an NPC for like a boss fight, just use the beckoning bell. Then you can just summon NPCs in the games. Anyhow, the reason why you want to gain one insight is because once you gain an insight, this doll comes to life. And
hello, I am a doll. He honorable hunter. Pursue the echoes of blood, and I will channel them into you. Will hunt beasts, and I will be here for you to embolden your sickly spirit.
Yes, embolden my sickly spirit.
Very well. Let me stand.
It allows you to level up your being. So, we are going to get Health a little higher. Endurance up a little higher too. I'd say focus on like if you're worried about dying lots, I'd say put it in health, maybe get health up to like 20 to start if you want to, and just kind of slowly move up. Well, if you're using the Hunter Axe, move up strength. You can move up skill a little bit, but it will scale towards strength more, which I'll show you real quick. There's all just like slight
farewell, good hunter.
Stuff over time. That stuff. Anyhow, so real quick, so look to the right down the bottom. It says attribute bonuses. You level up your weapons and everything. There's like a little strength, a little arm and a hand and whatever, and there's like a little letter. So the higher the letter it is, the more it scales to that specific attribute. So like Hunter Axe, it scales to both skill and strength, but more to strength than anything. So you're going to want to level up strength because it's going to allow you to do more damage with that specific weapon.
Aha! Welcome to the I am... Gammon. You're sure to be in a fine... Just go out. You know, this was... Oh, even...
This tells you though. Use this place as you see fit. So, fortified weapon using bloodstone. So, we already picked up a couple. One on our Hunter Axe there, do a little bit more damage. Also repair your items here when you need to. But I'd come here, fortify, since you have a couple blood shards, you can actually farm them from one of the, I think it's the bigger enemies, I think will occasionally drop them. I can't remember, but you'll find them as you progress through the game, but it's good to come just put one on there right away. Then you do just a little bit more damage for now. Got a little more health, a little more endurance, then you can go back to the old central Yarnum. Alright, so now that we can go to the left down here.
Cursed beasts.
On here, we can just run through this place if we want. Don't even bother with those sparks. There's another door there that opens from the other side, which is just around, like, go through those two big doors around there. That will open up that door. You can either fight them if you so choose, or you can just, like, run through them. Either way, it does not overly matter. So they can be a little bit rough if you're fighting two of them at the same time. You can lure one pretty easily, which is not too bad. Just get it back here, close enough, charge it back, send his ass flying. Here's you some blood vials. Those guys aren't too bad if you just use your charging attack on them. Well, come back here where I just told you, and open that door. Takes us into the room that you just came from. Semi-shortcut. There's two ways to go here. This will take you down through like a bunch of dogs in cages. If I were you, I would recommend going and killing them all before they jump out and attack them all at the same time. Because that will happen. Here's another one. Doo-doo. It's actually an NPC in this. This is the old lady.
You're a hunter, then?
She asks you if you know any safe places, but
Well, if you're so what level?
you do not know one yet. Eventually you will find out what they are, and then you can tell her to go somewhere nice. Now you can come through here, and go down here to some shoes. Take all those werewolfy guys. I believe, yes, this actually takes you, if you fall down there, it takes you kind of further along. Like, we went down a different path, but this will take you down to the sewers that we were actually just at, just to a different kind of chunk of it. Well, for now, that kind of just links up with the other sewer area we've already at, so you don't have to go there. Here, however, you fall down here, fall down this ledge here, and there's some items you can pick up around here if you so choose. But, come up here, got a corpse you can knock out with an item, but more importantly, you feel like doing such things. Also, be careful when you swipe, so you don't just like swipe and step over the edge and just like fall to your imminent demise, if that's possible. You can come through this, so like, went through that door and make a right, make another right, come up here, there's gonna be this lady, who you can actually talk to. There's this quest you can do.
What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights. Here, prepare yours. There are no humans.
Alright, so with her, what you can do is you can actually just like, there's a quest line you can do. You talk to her here, and then
Still Link, what's wrong?
you'll find her another place else, somewhere else.
What?
And you can continue her quest if you want. You'll eventually get like, you will get some, she'll give you an item basically that you can go buy her gear and weapon or whatever from the hunter stream. Or alternatively, if you don't want to do that, you can just kill her right now and hit that, but she can be a tough fight, so we don't just leave her be around. Anyhow, that's just some extra nonsense. We're going to get out of here, and we're actually going to go fight first little boss, if you will. Get me out of here. Oh, I fell down, that's why. Let's hit our drop down here. This is where we just were. Suicide sprint through there. Yeah, so you come through this door here, and we are back in that place that we dropped just a little earlier, just a little further down, if you will. visceral attacks are really tricky sometimes. Sometimes you miss and you get your buff. So, I think this is actually to be. Basically, there's a bunch of stuff to pick up. Pretty much this whole sewer area is kind of linked up together, so you can drop down there if you want. A bunch of just random items, not a whole bunch of super important stuff, but if you like just grab the trinkets and stuff like that. There's items behind the barrels that you can scare the shit out of you. So, as you see, where we made it to in the sewers, there's those bodies things that were a little bit earlier. There's that ladder that we went up, so you can go down this way, grab some more treasures if you want, or you can just, you know, hop down here. There's another path. You can go down there, which kind of, can't remember exactly where it leads. It leads to like another kind of dead end, but it links up to something else. So, can you suicide run your way to just run, you're not going to get stopped. A doorway down there, but you probably don't want to fight that big old pig down there just yet. Fresh at the game, he might pillage your butt. Just climb up this ladder. Climb here. This actually takes you, that's where you go to the first main boss, but if you come up this way there is a once again another shortcut that takes us here. Go up here, this is where those two big guys were that we killed a little bit earlier. Back up here, take us to the first little lantern. So now we pretty much have everywhere right opened up to the first main boss, so we can go right to the main boss. We still choose, or we can go back to the Great Bridge and we'll fight the first kind of side boss. Whichever you want to do. I'd say do the first side boss because it's gonna kind of open. You don't even have to come this way. I don't know what I am doing. Whatever. Go back to that bridge. We'll do the side boss because it opens up another lantern, which that lantern back to. Eventually, later on, once you have the side boss done and the main boss done, you're kind of going to open up a path to farm blood vials for yourself, which I'll probably show you in a different stream later on, but it comes in handy. Oh, come up here. Once again, we'll kill these dogs and these they're here. We'll kill these two big wolves. Always, triangle is your blood vials. I forgot to let you mention the buttons earlier at the start of this stream. That was a terrible instruction. Anyhow. Oh my god. I don't even know where that guy came from. Oh, he was the one down there. Okay. We are going to come up here. I'll go towards the first side boss. I might beat him, I might not. We'll see. Oh no. Oh my god, I got stuck. Sometimes this game is just against me. And of course I got stuck in there with the camera. Well then. Well, I'm going to take a momentary pause and then we'll continue on. Okay. Let's, shall. Shortcut, I've already forgotten what it was. Yes, okay. I totally forgot all about it. Just run through here, run up here, and we'll be back at the Great Bridge again. Nice thing about coming to this side, I completely just left my mind. Come up here, and get to the side boss without having to deal with those buttholes right quick. Can, if you so choose, we'll just drop down here and see where this goes. This takes us to some more echoes. And this will take us actually, I believe, it'll just take us back down. Where those dogs are, which we don't want to go to for now. Will take us back to that house. She's gonna run back in, run back upstairs, and run back out here. I would hear you, butt. Very crazy McSlash dance. Okay. I'm just going to have a quick little peek over here. Would appear that there's enemies down there. How's our blood echoes? Whatever. Echoes come pretty easily, and you don't lose your... you don't lose your insight when you die, so you don't have to worry about losing that. Whatever echoes are. Whatever. Here. So, okay, you beat this guy. Before you walk in here, you want to prepare yourself, because if this is your first time playing the game, you're about to get the scare of your goddamn life. So, Molotov cocktails we'll equip, like I mentioned before. You actually believe... I actually can't 100% remember, I'm pretty sure you can actually get a summon to help you for this boss fight. Sure, I should just run back and just have to think real quick to where we have to go. Okay. So now you come down here. So that'll take us to the bridge. I'm going to do a quick suicide run, if you will. Back through the beginning area. I believe this will take us to a summon, which we can actually use for Earth Base. You can, if you want to, is like leave that boss for a little bit later on, because there's another summon you can get a little bit later on to help you fight it, but... actually just run in here, and I believe there's some in here. You can... Ow. So friggin' rude. Okay. From the summon right here, this will... Okay. Using this summon, you can summon Father Glassman, or whatever his name is, who's actually the first main boss of the game. As long as you go to the cleric booth first, you can summon him. But as you see, it cost me 1 insight, so if we go back to 100 here right now, we will be unable to see the doll alive. But that's not the end of the world. As once you enter a boss, like once you go into a boss room, then you will gain insight. So you'll get it back anyways. Well, I'll just use Father Blood on the health of it. You have to be careful because you will, like, can die. Or you can get into a boss room and use for it. Why are you so aggressive? Anyhow, so come back here. Obviously, we're back in this here bridge. So this is where you want to be. You kind of want to be careful here, to be honest with you, because these stupid wolf dicks can kill him. But you can also like let them kind of attack him. Want to be careful, you don't want to get him killed before he helps you in the boss fight. He is a very aggressive man. Anyhow, so if you want, you can pick him up and he can actually come help you do this boss fight. So, we are going to run into here. I'm going to push down on the D-pad. So when you push down on the D-pad, you can circle through all your kind of like items down here that are on this quick items menu. So we don't have Molotov cocktails. Especially if you're fresh, because they will come in handy, because we are about to fight a beast that's going to scare the shit out of us. It's running in here, minding your own business, seeing where this path leads, and this dingus goes jumping out of nowhere. I'd say use you can visceral attack him. I would say try to stay by the inside of his legs as much as you can, because he can do this, yes. He can pick you up, smash your ass on the ground. It doesn't do a whole horrible amount of damage, but he can also attack you pretty good right after. So, what you want to do, Molotovs out, press square, and just, you can torch him a bit. It will help, so just use them sparingly, because they kind of go like right past him. You want to be careful because he is going to like aggro him quite a bit. And Father Blacksmith will possibly die. And I believe like all other kind of Souls games, what'll happen is when you invite a boss or invite an NPC to fight you, the boss will actually have like 50% more health. So bear that in mind. And as the boss fight goes through, it is a little bit more aggressive as you go through. So, you have that option if you so choose to get help, but it might be a little easier to do it by yourself. But you also don't have to fight this boss, like, right away. You can literally just kind of hold off on him for a bit, because he is pretty tough at the beginning of the game. So, you have that option, and as you see, I have one insight again, because once you go into a boss room, you will get insight for going there, and then you will receive some more once you beat the boss. Anyhow, so that's how you get to the first side boss, and I'll do the first boss. So, I think for tonight, to call it good on that, that'll kind of get you started, and then So, beat the bosses and show you. I also have the cat off me that will not leave me alone. I'm distracted by gaining chi, if you will. Anyhow, hope this was helpful. Dragon Ball for a little bit more.